everyone. This is All-Star Action, folks. Kevin Harlan happy to be here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Next up is the three-point contest for tonight. One NBA sharpshooter will add his name to a trophy that contains a who's who of the best long-range bombers in league history.
And as with all the All-Star festivities, the three-point contest is about having fun, a good time. But still, that doesn't mean the competitive juices won't be flowing.
Now, no question, Clark, these guys are in it to win it. There's a lot of pride on the line when you're up against your peers like this, but I do feel that the guys who perform the best are the ones who relax and just enjoy the experience.
He'll have 60 seconds to try and make his way through 5 racks, each one containing 4 regular balls, and then the 2-point money ball.
A maximum score is 30 points, Kevin, but you've got to get into a really good rhythm right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's usually pretty easy to tell right away whether a player has it going or not.
You know, some people probably like being first, maybe less pressure in a way with no scores put up to contend with.
Yeah, I think it's to the player's advantage for sure, Clark, because you can just put up a number. You don't have to think about anything other than getting on a roll, and then you go back to the bench, see what everybody else does.
Money ball, no good. He's up to 7.
Nice finish, well done.
That's 4 misses in a row. Finishes with 11. There was just something off about him in that round.
Yeah, he was totally inconsistent out there. You know, we always talk about guys getting into a rhythm in this event, and he just never was able to do that.
So it'll be Kyrie Irving here. 1 point. 2 points. 3 down. Can't get the money ball.
This is not getting it done.
Now with 4.
Pretty good start there for him.
That's 7. And that's his 4th straight. Two racks to go. Now with 11. And that puts him in first place. Good for 13. Down to the final rack.
Rock solid shooting down the stretch.
And 13 is the final score. I'd say a solid showing from him.
Well, the way he closed out the round was the most important and the most impressive thing. I mean, he just caught fire at the right time, really turned in an impressive performance.
And so here's Parker now.
Your memory has to be very short in this format, like less than a second. You have to put every miss right behind you. Forget about it.
Yeah, because one miss can easily turn into 2 and then 3, and then you start racing because you're worried about the clock, and before you know it, you're pretty much out of it. Yeah, that's 2 racks in a row that he struggled with, guys.
That's 2. This ain't pretty. 3 down. Could only get 1 shot to fall off the rack. He's getting cold. 5 consecutive misses. He came away with a total of 3 points. He was not himself at all out there that time, guys.
Yeah, I would guess he would like a mulligan. He finished the round with 5 straight misses. Not the way you want to go out.
And here we go with Victor Oladipo.
One way to ensure success in this event, as we've learned, Steve, is by hitting those money balls. Those give you a nice jolt of momentum.
Yeah, that's really the key. I mean, if you can knock down all 5 money balls, you really don't even have to shoot a high percentage, and you can still come out on top.
5 points now.
Well, he's off to a decent start, guys.
He's got 8. Nine points. 10 points on the board. He's hit all 3 money balls. It's all tied.
And that is the best score of the qualifying round.
Money ball, no good. Hits for 15. And he's got 15 points when the round ends. That was a nice piece of shooting we saw from him out there.
Yeah, even if he didn't set things completely on fire, it's still a fine score. I mean, what did you take away from it, Steve?
Well, it wasn't his best, but he gutted out a pretty decent round when he didn't have his best stuff, and that's the sign of an excellent shooter there.
And so we'll see Kevin Durant.
Well, a lot of people wondered how Durant would play when he first came into the league, whether he'd be a 3 or a 4. It doesn't really matter what position he is. He can play any spot because he's got incredible touch and great range.
To stay in it, he needs at least 11.
I think that's definitely a score within his reach, guys.
2 more points to stick around. He's got 10.
KD stepping up and knocking them all down.
He's tied for second. Now in second. 1 rack left.
That equals the best score of this round, Kevin.
He finishes the round with 17 points. I'd say a solid showing from him.
Kevin, I think he'd be real pleased with that score. I mean, it can always be a little bit higher, but that was plenty good.
Yeah, I agree, Clark. He's probably happy with it, not ecstatic, but, he did his job and put up a pretty good number.
And so here's Mr. Moves now. Wrapping up the qualifying round, he knows there's nobody coming after him. He knows the score to beat.
A hot start is pretty essential, isn't it, Steve? I mean, it seems like we rarely see guys recover from a bad first rack or two.
I think the key is that first money ball, Clark. Even if you miss a couple early, if you can make that money ball on the first rack, get a couple points under your belt, now all of a sudden you can settle down and start firing away.
6 more and he advances. Excellent pacing right now and rhythm to his shots.
Gets the money ball. 2 more to advance. That gives him 12.
As it stands now, he's in a tie for third.
He's in third. Can't get the money ball.
And that puts him in a second-place tie now.
He finishes the round with 17 points. Well, a very respectable performance from him there, guys.
I thought he had his stroke working pretty well for him. I mean, what do you think about that, Steve?
Yeah, solid shooting. He looked very confident. It never became one of those lights-out rounds that it could have been. But all in all, I think he's got to be pretty happy.
Durant's got one of the best scores in round 1, a serious contender.
Well, one thing I think we can say is that this contest is there for the taking. It's wide open. There's no clear-cut favorite in the finals here.
Yeah, it sure looks that way after what we saw in the qualifying round. These guys are very evenly matched.
And here we go with Victor Oladipo. He's got to improve on his score from the last round if he wants to have a shot to win it.
I feel like guys sometimes start to drift off mentally deep in a round. How about you, Steve? Did you ever find your focus slipping away as you got to the last couple of racks?
Yeah, I think my first couple of years, by the third rack, I started thinking about popcorn or, maybe where I was going to go to dinner later. Boy, oh boy.
Now is 6. 4 money balls, 4 misses. That hurts. That's 7. Now 8 points. 8 points is all he ends up with there. That's far below what he's capable of doing when he's on his game.
Yeah, at one point he missed 6 straight, which is pretty much going to derail you anytime you go through a stretch like that in this contest.
So here's Durant now.
So many times we see the best scores in the three-point contest come in round 1. I think the players start to get tired legs as they approach the 50-shot mark in the competition.
Yeah, it's the legs, and it's also the adrenaline of the opening stages, Clark. That's worn off, so mentally, by the second round, you can be running on fumes.
Nearly perfect there. Just 1 miss on the rack. Oh, that's good. He takes the lead.
Way to step up big in this final round.
Yeah, stepping up and really stroking the ball.
3 racks down, 2 to go. No good with his 4th in a row. now with 11. He's got 12.
And Durant really starting to light it up now, guys.
Now 14. Now to 15. A total of 17 points that he'll take away from that round. I'd say a solid showing from him.
Yeah, it was a terrific start. He was feeling it from the get-go.
And so here's Mr. Moves now. We've reached the climax. He's got one last shot to go home with the trophy.
18 points to go ahead. 17 points the score to beat.
That's 2. 3 down.
Good rack for him there.
Chalk it up. His 4th in a row. 7 points.
Eight more points and he'll tie things up.
Up to 10 now.
7 points away from the win.
Good rack right there. 4 points total. 4 more points and it's time. Make that 14. Hits for 15. He's made all 4 money balls. Hits for the win.
And a little victory lap through his final shot.
A chance to tack on a few points for posterity.
He's able to total 21 points in the round. Guys, hard to find any fault with that display.
Well, we know if there's one guy in the competition you'd expect to turn in that kind of round, it would be him.
And so that will do it. What a tremendous performance. And of all the great talent assembled here today, a great achievement indeed to take home the 3-point contest championship trophy.
What a commando performance by our champion. Once he got rolling, the only question was, who's getting second?
Yeah, to paraphrase Larry Bird way back, who's going to get second? That's exactly right. And I'll tell you what, Clark, he deserves all the credit in the world. To come out on top against a field like that, that's sensational.
And from all of us here at 2K Sports, we're thrilled to have brought you this year's 3-point contest. This is Kevin Harlan, along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, saying so long and thanks for watching.